Instructions for entering a case via the lab request form. Please note, this does not replace submitting cases to the lab with the laboratory work authorization form. The laboratory work authorization form is still required. To enter a case using the lab request form, please enter the following address in your web browser. You can see the addresses highlighted here. It is an internal web address, so your computer must be on the university network in order for this to work. Enter your email address in the email field. Enter your password in the password field. The first time you log in, your password will be password. After you log in for the first time, you can change your password. Click on Accounts as you see here. In the Change Password area, type in current password. Type in your current password in this field. In the New Password field, enter your new password. In the Confirm Password field, please enter the new password. Then save. Once you have changed your password, the next time you log in, you will use your new password. To enter a new case using the form, click on New Case. In the Patient field, you may enter a new patient, or if there is already a patient by the same name in the system, you can search for the patient using either their patient record number or their name. If I type the number 12, you can see I am given a list of all patients that have the number 12 in their patient number. If one of these people is the patient that I want, I can simply select that person. I can also search for a patient by their name. Again, if the person I'm looking for appears in the list, I can simply highlight this person's name and it will select the person for me. If I want to enter a new patient, I will select New. I want to enter the patient's record number in the Number field. In the Last Name field, enter the patient's last name. In the First Name field, enter the patient's first name. In the DOB field, enter the patient's date of birth. You may free type the date. In the Gender field, enter the patient's gender, male or female. Then press Save. Under the General area, choose which lab you are submitting the case to, the girls' lab or the boys' lab. Here we have selected the boys' lab. In the Arrival Date field, please enter the date that you expect the case to arrive in lab. Here we are selecting the 25th of March. In the Patient Appointment field, please enter the date that the patient is appointed. To move forward to the next month, simply hover your mouse next to the date and choose the appropriate date. Once you've chosen the appropriate date, select Done. If you are a student and your work requires authorization, please choose your authorizer from the drop-down list. You may start typing the authoriser's name. Select the appropriate authorizer and scroll down to the next section, which is Procedures. Under Procedures, select Add. This allows you to add the items that you are ordering on this case. In this example, we will order the preparatory work for our case. Note, the procedures are broken into categories. There are preparatory work under preparation. There is a fixed heading for your fixed work. If you scroll down, you'll see there is a removable heading for the removable work. And there is an ortho heading for the ortho work. Scrolling back up to the preparatory work, I am going to order a primary model fixed. At this point, I don't need to enter teeth, but I could enter tooth numbers if I wanted. I can also enter a shade, or I can make a note about the product if I need to. In this phase of the case, I'm also going to order a custom tray. So I will click Add again and select Custom Tray for Fixed from my drop-down list, and then I will say OK. If I'd like to add notes about the case, I can enter my notes here. I can also upload documents such as photographs once I have saved the case. This case has not yet been saved. Now I will press Save. I'm given a pop-up box that says the system is contacting the lab. Once the system has successfully submitted the case to the lab, the Save Progress box will appear and tell us the details were successfully sent to the lab. Press OK. Now we can see that this case has been submitted to the lab and has been assigned a case number. Now that the case has a case number, I can add documents or send additional messages to the lab about this case. If I want to attach a document, I simply browse to where the document is stored on my computer, and then I can add the document. If I click the Home button, this will take me to the home screen where I can see all cases that I currently have live at the lab. The case that I just created is case number 2397. I can see the case has been submitted and I've ordered a primary model for fixed. If I need to add notes or upload documents once the case has been submitted, I simply double click on the case number, which will open the case up for me. Going back to the home page, we can see under the cases list, I am presented with a list of all the cases that I currently have submitted in the lab. Some cases have been submitted. This particular case has a status of in production. If I had any cases in the lab that were on hold, I would see the status as hold, and I would see the hold reason. Scrolling down, I can also see any messages that I've sent to the lab about my cases. When I'm done with the system, I simply sign out. If I want to log in and add another case or check the status of the case, again, simply log in with your email address and your password. Then I can enter a new case. Thank you for your time and attention.